Hi everyone. Our project is the housing justice in downtown Eastside. I'm Jason, this is Lola. We're very proud to have partnered with Carnegie Housing Project, which is the research and advocacy arm of Carnegie Community Center in Vancouver's downtown Eastside. We're very grateful for Jean, Kabir, and Devin, and everyone we heard from and interacted with in the downtown Eastside. So why are we talking about downtown Eastside at this moment? What is happening in the downtown Eastside right now? In December 2025, DEOD zoning, which was first implemented in 2014, was changed despite 300 plus speakers that opposed at a public hearing. DEOD, or Downtown Eastside Oppenheimer District, refers to a small area in the heart of the Downtown Eastside around Oppenheimer Park. It has strict affordability requirements for new developments that community members fought for in order to slow down the rate of gentrification. We'll now look at specifics of the zoning changes. So first, the old zoning requires most new developments to be maximum 8 stories tall, with few exceptions at 10 stories. However, in the new zoning, it is increased to allow up to 32-story towers. The old zoning also requires 60% social housing for all new developments, while now it's lowered to only 20%. There's also a 20% of shelter rate housing, which is at $500 per month requirement on the old zoning. However, now it's reduced to only 4%. So that means that the shelter rate units that the community desperately needs are not increased at all, despite the unprecedented needs for shelter rate housing. While market rate housing increased dramatically, this will introduce a huge influx of middle-class residents into the neighborhood.
So the concept of social mix helps us understand the motivations behind this policy. Social mix is an approach which aims to uplift poor residents via proximity to wealth, but it ultimately causes displacement of low-income community members through gentrification and heightened policing.
To understand social mix more, we adopted a community action research framework to learn from the community about the impacts and injustices folks are facing. We were active at many community events, including walking tours, public hearings, protests, and town halls. We made social media posts, assisted counter mapping workshops, table on the street, interpreted at town halls, and conducted interviews with community organizers to learn directly from their experiences. We made so many beautiful friends and connections in the community through our relationship building and organizing.
So what we found from all this work is that social mix policies are not real inclusivity. We uncovered 4 key themes to validate this. First, we noticed the consistent presence of stigmatizing language in policy and media discourse surrounding Downtown Eastside. The negative nature of this language use characterizes poverty as an individual moral failure and pathologizes people experiencing poverty as unhealthy or dirty. Therefore, this language deems urban renewal as the only viable option. The second focus we found is poverty decentralization theory. This is the idea that poverty thrives when it's centralized, and when it's diluted in small amounts in every neighborhood, the lives of poor residents will spontaneously improve inherently via proximity to wealth. We understand that this dilution is extremely harmful. The third concept we uncovered is Jeff Masuda's idea that people should have the right to remain where they live. This rezoning repeats the familiar cycles of race-based erasure that we have seen in this area, beginning with the dispossession of indigenous peoples from their land, followed by Chinese folks in Chinatown, Japanese folks in Powell Street, and Black folks in Hogan's Alley. So our final learning is that a deeply flawed planning process continues to perpetuate harms in Downtown Eastside. In this development paradigm in which property values and real estate speculation determine political will, we see planners continually turn a blind eye to injustice. This planning process largely lacked any meaningful engagement with community. The top-down paternalistic nature of this process continued to disenfranchise Downtown Eastside residents, further entrenching experiences of distrust and harm. So where do we go from here? Our calls for action are for housing justice for all Downtown Eastside residents. This looks like shelter rate housing now. It means enacting care-based policies and ending policies based on stigma. We're calling to reinstate original DEOD zoning. And finally, for more funding for organizing and community-led planning. For more, come see us at our poster.